The Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Thank you so much for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Annette Montgomery. Right now, you're taking a look at the scene of a breaking news story that we're following right now in Hartford. We'll have those details of an officer-involved shooting in just a minute. But first, we want to start with weather. So let's toss right on over to meteorologist Sam Sampiri. Sam, we're finally getting a warm-up soon.
Oh, that's right. Annette, certainly we are going to be just being happy on your Saturday. You know, we had a little bit of taste of it yesterday and today, but tomorrow, 45 to 50 across the state. And actually this time the coolest will be along the beaches because Long Island Sound water temperature is on the chilly side, only in the 30s. But don't get used to it because for the first day of March, we're going to have winter back with a little bit of light snow in the morning. So I call March coming in like a baby lion, like a cub, not a bad storm at all. So that's certainly the good news. And you can see downtown Hartford, it's getting dark now. The sun has been down for about 20 minutes. It's 38 degrees, south wind at 9. Check out the temperatures this evening. Not bad at all. We're into the 30s to near 40 still. An old front staying off to the south. We have high pressure overhead. So basically a nice evening. Go out and about. So overnight, mostly clear with lows down into the 20s. And for tomorrow, look for a mix of sun and clouds with high temperatures topping out 45 to 50. So let's take a look at these temperatures across Connecticut tomorrow afternoon. You can see how inland areas, basically north of 84 and along it, that's where you're going to have 50, 51 degrees down the Connecticut the River Valley. We'll have a northwest wind going around to the southwest. And you can see down along the shoreline, we're going to have a little bit of a cooler sea breeze. So, yeah, let's give you a little bit more of a preview. Yeah, as you can see, on your Saturday, we're nice and warm. The first day of March. Yeah, a little bit of snow in the morning. Not a big deal. It's just going to, we're going to wake up and go, oh no, after such a beautiful Saturday, here we go. Well, it is March 1st. And then on Monday, Arctic shock. But big changes ahead during the upcoming week. I'll let you know all about the unsettled weather in a few minutes. And that.
Thank you so much, Sam. Well, the time is 6:03. We want to take you back out to that breaking news scene we told you about at the top of the show. While details are still limited about this officer-involved shooting, the scene has been active for several hours. This comes as the Office of Inspector General now combs through the area. Let's head out to Fox 61. Stephen Reels live in Bloomfield. Stephen, what can you tell us right now?
Hey, Annette, it's been about 7 hours since everything first started. We are right on the Hartford-Bloomfield line, and as you can see, still a very active scene behind me. At the moment, Blue Hills Avenue is shut down between Tower Avenue and East Burnham Street, and it's been like this for several hours. Hartford police say they came to the area around 11 this morning, where a police spokesperson said a man approached officers with a knife. Police say that man with the knife was suicidal. Initially, police say they tried to use a taser, but that proved to be unsuccessful. The man later approached one of the officers while holding a knife, and police say the officer...
They killed it? Okay.
The officer then fired their weapon, hitting the man, and then we spoke with Troy McDermott, one of the people who was nearby when everything happened, and he told us things appeared fine when there was only one officer initially. However, things escalated when multiple officers showed up, and now he's one of several neighbors who feel this escalation was completely unnecessary.
You said you tased him. Why you couldn't shoot him in the leg? Why you couldn't, like, 6, 7 shots in the chest? It's a little bit much. Let's be realistic here.
And Annette, this is the second time in little over a week that a shooting happened between a police officer and someone with a knife who was reportedly going through a mental health crisis. The last time this happened was a little over a week ago on Thursday on Capitol Avenue, also in Hartford. Now, we have a detailed explanation of that on our website, fox61.com, but as you can imagine, several neighbors are extremely upset, including members of the NAACP who spoke with us just a short while ago and called this situation deeply disturbing and calling on more transparency from the Hartford Police Department, along with additional mental health resources for the department so something like this doesn't happen again.
We are calling for transparency review of communication between officers on the scene, crisis intervention, the decision-making timeline, and whether every reasonable option was exhausted before resorting to lethal force.
And Annette, the last thing we heard a few hours ago was the man was still in critical condition and in surgery. Of course, as the situation develops, we will keep you updated on air and online. Live in Hartford, Stefan Reels, Fox 61.
And as Stefan said, if you want to continue to follow this story, just scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen to get access to the Fox 61 app. Well, a New Haven man is now accused of threatening people with a knife last night. Police say around 11:24 p.m., a 911 caller called about a man named Alex Lawrence on Whaley Avenue. At this time, it is unclear if he was threatening specific people. Officers later found Lawrence up the road with a knife. He has since been released from custody. And a worker is seriously hurt after he fell from a roof yesterday in Easton. Officers say this happened on Everett Road around 12:15 in the afternoon. Now, first responders tell us they found the 24-year-old unconscious and not breathing properly on the back deck. Tonight, police and OSHA are investigating. And state police say it was a 22-year-old Hartford man who died in this crash in Manchester yesterday. Troopers tell us Luca Satori Souza was driving on I-84 around 4 a.m. when he crashed into the back of a tractor trailer. Sartori Souza died at the scene. Tonight, that crash is still under investigation. We'll take a look. A minister in New Haven is now facing animal abuse charges tonight, and the community is trying to make sense of it. Lisa Levy was charged by Hamden police this week with 5 counts of animal cruelty after police say multiple dogs were abused and died in her care. Fox 61's Celine Arif shares more on her charges and how members of her church are now responding.
I spoke with the rector of this church, who says they're very shocked. He also says Levy has been put on administrative leave. Trinity on the Green Episcopal Church also released a statement saying they're keeping Levy in their prayers and everyone impacted. It's a church in the middle of downtown New Haven that a lot of people go to for resources and prayer. People we spoke to who know the church were stunned.
That's horrible. I hope nothing like that happens in our community. I wish the best for our animals. I love animals, like I said.
Davion Wesley says he just found out the news. According to Hamden police, multiple dogs died in her care not too long after she took them home. On top of chemical burns, police say the dogs were also suffering from neurological problems and had hair falling out in clumps.
That is pretty upsetting because I also have pets of my own and I do love them dearly, and I feel like I wouldn't do that to any other creature, even if it's not mine. I feel like her being out of jail after doing that is horrible.
Luz De Leon says Levy being released on a $15,000 bond doesn't sit right with her. Levy's due in Meriden Superior Court next month, and records show the most recent animal abuse case was investigated in January. That's when a North Haven veterinarian told police about a dog Levy brought in with horrible burns.
I would be really sad if somebody would put somebody else or another animal in danger, because I don't think that's right, in my opinion.
Police say Levy accused her boyfriend of hurting the dogs, but police were told by Levy's boyfriend that she was the one with repeated animal problems. According to one of the rescues she got her dogs from, Murphy's Paw, they shared a statement that Levy was able to adopt from reputable rescues and veterinarians because she strategically used multiple vet offices throughout the state. After what happened, they say rescues and veterinarians are working together to bring justice for the pets in Levy's care. Levy is due in court on March 6th. In New Haven, Celine Arif, Fox 61.
Right now, it's a race against the clock for people in New Haven who were displaced after a fire tore through their apartment building early Tuesday morning. We've now learned that management has provided renters a week's stay at a nearby motel. But after that, they're on their own. Fox 61's Aaron Coogan spoke with renters who say it's not enough time.
Well, for the past several days, we've watched as folks have gone in and out of Winthrop Terrace, gathering any and all salvageable belongings. And while leaving the now condemned building, for some just means moving their stuff to another place. For others, it means a future of uncertainty.
So we only had 7 days to find somewhere, or we're out in the street.
It's been 7 years since Dre Smedley says he turned his life around, getting himself off the streets and into the Winthrop Terrace apartments. But after fire forced him and 54 others from their units this past week, he says he fears come next Tuesday he may be homeless again.
If I don't find somewhere soon someone renting anywhere, I'm out there.
It was just this past Tuesday that New Haven fire crews were called to the Chapel Street apartment complex for reports of an active fire on the 3rd floor. Trapped residents were reported as hanging out of windows, unable to escape the smoke and flames. 22 people required emergency rescuing, and several pets were also removed.
When my next door neighbor actually ended up calling, and he said, hey, they just busted the door down, they got your cat. That's when I really panicked, because I was like, holy crap, like it's really bad then if they have to go in and evacuate the whole building.
Thankfully, no one was hurt, but later assessment by the city found subsequent smoke and water damage as rendering the entire building uninhabitable. The complex was condemned, and residents were provided a 1-week stay at the La Quinta down the road as they were instructed to gather their things.
Our couch, that's going to be done for. A lot of this furniture that's left behind, that's going to be done for.
I grabbed the PlayStation because I figured if I have to sell something so I have some extra money in my pocket, I've got it.
The transition proving easier for some than others. For Smedley, who qualifies for aid under Section 8, the market for affordable housing limited.
It's hard to talk to anyone. I keep getting machines.
It's a race against the clock.
I know.
In a statement from Mandy Management owners of Winthrop Terrace, they say, quote, under the terms of the lease agreement, when a fire renders a property uninhabitable, the lease terminates immediately and rent obligations cease as of that date. We are working directly with residents to address next steps, including deposits and individual circumstances. And in addition to initial hotel placement, Mandy agents are actively assisting households in securing suitable replacement apartments, including transfers and other available units where possible, end quote. Meanwhile, Smedley says he's not the only person in this place of uncertainty. 30 out of the 55 displaced individuals are still staying at the La Quinta looking for their next steps. In New Haven, Aaron Coogan, Fox 61.